Okay, so get this.
Hmm.
Pictures just surfaced of Dancing with the Stars contestants Brooks Nader and Gleb Savchenko getting awfully cozy at a bar in Beverly Hills.
Interesting.
And, like, we're not just talking about a friendly hangout here.
Oh,
The online article we're diving into today says they were spotted with, like, arms wrapped around each other.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it even mentions sweet kisses witnessed by people there, like not just a quick peck on the cheek. So naturally, everyone's wondering, is this the real deal or just a clever publicity stunt? What do you think?
Well, it's fascinating how often we see these kinds of rumors pop up around Dancing with the Stars, especially. It's almost like a tale as old as time.
Right. It feels like every season there are whispers about contestants taking their on-screen chemistry off-screen.
Yeah, exactly. And it makes you wonder, right? Is it just a case of two people finding love in a hopeless place, or is there something more calculated going on?
Hmm.
I mean, we call them showmances for a reason, don't we?
Yeah.
It's a pretty well-established part of these competition shows. And let's be real, they do generate a lot of buzz, which is good for ratings.
For sure. And sometimes they even turn into real-life romances. I mean, look at Caitlin Bristow and Artem Chigvintsev. They met on season 29, fell in love in front of everyone, and now they're married with a kid. So you can't deny it happens.
That's right. They're the exception that proves the rule, though, right?
True.
And I think that's what makes these situations so fascinating to unpack. There's this undeniable element of will they, won't they, that keeps us on the edge of our seats.
Totally. So, like, how do we even begin to decipher what's real and what's potentially for the cameras, especially in an environment as intense as Dancing with the Stars?
Well, I think it's important to remember the nature of the show itself. You've got these two people, often from completely different worlds, thrown together in this high-pressure environment where they're spending hours upon hours together, physically and emotionally connecting through dance.
Yeah, that's got to do something
Right.
to a person, right? Like, imagine the trust and vulnerability involved in learning those intricate routines. It's not just a physical connection, it's emotional, too.
Absolutely. And there's actually quite a bit of research on the power of touch and movement to create feelings of closeness and intimacy. Even something as simple as holding a stranger's hand for a few minutes can lead to increased feelings of trust and connection.
Get out of here. Really?
Yes. So now, amplify that by 1,000 when you're talking about the physicality of dance, the closeness, the synchronization, the shared emotional expression. It's a recipe for intense feelings, whether they were initially intended or not.
That's wild. And let's not forget, our E! Online article did mention that Brooks had recently gone through a breakup.
Oh, is that right?
So, I mean,
Ah.
talk about a recipe for a rebound romance, right?
Right. Timing is everything, as they say. It definitely adds another layer of intrigue to the whole situation.
Totally. And then, to make things even juicier, the article also mentions that Brooks called Gleb hot in an interview. Now, granted, they've both downplayed their chemistry, mostly brushing it off as just having fun and getting into character.
Right, right.
But still, she called him hot. I feel like that's got to mean something.
It definitely makes you wonder. I mean, it's their job as dancers to embody characters and emotions physically. So how do we know when those stolen glances and intimate holds are the real deal or just part of the performance?
Exactly. And that's what makes this whole thing so difficult to unpack. We're left with these mixed signals. Part of me wants to believe they're just playing into the showman's trope to generate hype. But another part can't help but wonder if there's genuine attraction there, amplified by the intense, emotionally charged environment of the show.
Absolutely.
It's like the more we try to dissect it, the more intriguing it gets.
It really does. And honestly, this situation makes me think about how much we encounter carefully constructed narratives in the media, especially when it comes to celebrities and entertainment.
It's true. Like, how much of what we see is actually real and how much is orchestrated to tell a certain story? And how can we become more aware of those influences, not just in Hollywood, but in our own lives?
That's such a good point. It's so easy to get swept up in these narratives, especially when they tap into our own desires for connection and happy endings.
Oh, absolutely. We all love a good love story. And at the end of the day, whether Brooks and Gleb are the real deal or simply putting on a show, their story reminds us that sometimes the lines between reality and performance are beautifully blurred. And isn't that part of what makes life so interesting?
You took the words right out of my mouth. It's the mystery that keeps us guessing.